Yo! Hey guys, it's me Pando, or Twitch Pando as some of you guys call me. And today I'm going to be making a pretty basic and pretty straightforward Wonder Woman guide. I'm not going to go too in depth with her, but I'm just going to try to go over her basics. First, we're going to go over her perks. The first one we have is Whip of Hephaestus. And like the description here says, the tip of Wonder Woman's lasso has a powerful knockback sweet spot. This perk actually got nerfed pretty recently. So basically how it got nerfed is that it no longer pulls in opponents and has that powerful sweet spot knockback. Now it just kind of sweet spots. This perk, even though nerfed, is still good in some matchups, like Gizmo for one. I think against Tom and Jerry. Second we have is the 5% perk. Like the description says, you receive a 5% boost to damage dealt and defense. So basically your offense and your defense have a 5% boost. I like running this perk against characters who don't have a projectile. So like for example, I'll run this against Shaggy, maybe Superman, maybe Jake, just characters who don't really have projectiles that you have to worry about. Next, we have Shield of Athena, my favorite perk of Wonder Woman. Like the description says, performing a directional dodge creates a barrier that blocks enemy projectiles, and to be specific, not heavy projectiles except for maybe Bugs' rocket. I've had times where I've actually blocked it with Shield of Athena. And lastly, the barrier goes on cooldown after a successful block. So like for example, I like using this perk against projectile characters or even projectile heavy characters like for example Rick, Rain Dog, Joker, and Harley, just to name a few. And last but not least, we have Grapple of Hermes. Like the description says, Wonder Woman's lasso will grapple Lightning out of the air and pull her to its location, but it does less damage. So basically whenever she lassos, she goes to the tip of the lasso and it kind of briefly stuns your opponents for a free nair, and nair can also set you up for one of her loop combos, which we will be going over here soon. As a little side note, Grapple of Hermes, in my opinion, was a lot better when Wonder Woman had no cooldown, because you can use it offensively, get a little bit of damage in, and then you can use it as a defensive tool and get out of there and maybe reset neutral. But now that Lasso has an 8-second cooldown, I don't think this perk will be used much by top pro players. Now I'm going to be talking about her sub perks. Now these first category of perks, you really want to only focus in on two of them, that being snowball effects and protective momentum. Like the description says, your team gains a 7% boost damage against the enemy with the highest damage. If your team also selects this perk, the damage boost is doubled. So basically when you select this perk, you'll be doing about 7 to 8 more damage, somewhere around there, just a little bit more damage than you usually would. The second perk is Protective Momentum. Like the description says, your team gains a projectile shield after running on the ground in the same direction for at least 0.5 seconds. If your teammate also selects this perk, the projectile shield activates faster. So basically, you want to use this against matchups like Tom and Jerry and matchups like Gizmo. The reason why is because in the Gizmo matchup, you can actually kind of like approach him and deal with his arrows. And in the Tom and Jerry matchup, actually, fun fact about this perk, I kind of figured this out with my friend. If you have this perk on and Tom and Jerry shoots Jerry at you downwards, you actually get full gauge.
I want to see something. If I do it high, it bounces off. If I do it low, oh wait, what? The flip. If I do it slow,
Low?
if I shoot it low, you get full Jerry.
Wait, do it again? That's crazy.
If
Why
I
is
shoot
that?
it low, you get full Jerry.
Wow.
This game is stupid.
And that's basically it for this first category. I would say Stronger Than Ever can be pretty good to use sometimes, but I wouldn't really rely on it. So in the second category, you actually have a lot more perks that you can be using. Basically, all of these perks, except for this one, can be really good for Wonder Woman. If you like to lasso, pull in down air, or just kind of like bounce your opponents off of the ground, you can use this one, collateral damage. Or, for example, say you have a Steven on your team and you want to just bounce him off of his shield, you can put this on. Like the description says, you deal 1 additional damage when you knock back enemies into terrain. So terrain can be like the ground. If you have on hazard, Scooby-Doo's mansion, the top of the roof, you bounce them off of that counts as 1 damage. You can bounce them off of Steven's shield, and that's kind of all that I can think of. The next perk we have is Too Fast to Block. Like the description says, your dash attack breaks armor. This can be good against Steven, and this can be good if you're doing a Wonder Woman Ditto. I don't like running this perk really too much because there's another perk in this category that I prefer. Next, we have Airwalker, and like the description says, and putting a neutral dodge in the air will spawn a platform below you. This platform consumes half of your dodge meter and overrides parry. So basically, what this means is you can't parry when you're in the air, because if you try to neutral attack, which is also your parry, you're going to spawn a platform. I haven't really labbed any saucy combos with Wonder Woman in this perk, but I am sure that there is something out there that Wonder Woman can do with this perk. Next, we have Speed Force Assist. Like the description says, you receive 5% increased base movement speed. This perk can be good. I kind of don't really prefer it too much because I feel like Wonder Woman is already kind of fast enough. Like, I'm not saying that she's super fast, and I'm not saying that she's slow, but I think she moves at a pretty good speed, especially because she has her lasso that can kind of cover that space. So yeah, I don't really use this perk too much. And last but not least, my favorite perk that I like to use in this second category is Last Stand. Like the description says, while you have at least 100 damage, knocking back enemies applies Weaken. Now, I like using this perk because you can actually get a lot of mileage off of this perk. Say, I'm fighting a Garnet, right? And the Garnet gets me to 80%, but I kill her at like 90 to like a 40, right? She comes back and she hits me for like a little bit more damage, and now I'm at 100%. Every time I hit her, I apply 1 stack of Weaken on her, and you can actually gain a lot of mileage off of this perk if used right. So basically, Wonder Woman's Fair, Wonder Woman's Up Air, her Up Special, her Down Tilt, and maybe even Down Air will all kill a little bit early. Next, we have the last category. In this category, I don't really use too many perks. I don't really think that they're really useful for Wonder Woman, but that's just my opinion. My favorite perk that I like to run, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think it's Pugilist? Something like that. And like the description says, your melee attacks deal increased damage. So basically, any attack that's not really a special, any attack that's a melee attack. So like for Wonder Woman, that will be her jab, her up tilt, and that's basically about it. Another perk that I think can be pretty useful in certain matchups, like for example against Steven Universe, is Armor Killer. And like the description says, hitting an armored enemy will briefly stop them from using armor. So basically, whenever you hit your opponent with a move, so say Steven is shielding, right? And I hit him with my Sare, that's gonna break his armor, and that's gonna cause him to not use his bubble for about maybe like 3 seconds, which can be actually pretty helpful because then you can play aggressive, or you can even shark them. And that's really about it for this last category. I kind of like running this build right here that you see. Shield of Athena, Snowball Effect, Last Stand, and Pugilist. Against specific comps, like I said previously, like Gizmo or even like Tom and Jerry, I'll run something like this, Protective Momentum and Whip of Hephaestus. And from my last perk build, I have on the 5% one. Like I said earlier, I use this build against characters that don't really have projectiles like Jason, Jake, Shaggy. Even though I know Shaggy has a sandwich, not many Shaggies really use their sandwiches in 1v1s. Next, we're going to be talking about her approach options. I think Wonder Woman's approach options are pretty straightforward. Nothing really too special, nothing really too difficult. One of her approach options being fair. Fair can be good if you can space it out really well. Whenever I personally do fair, I don't do fair like this, like holding in to my opponent, because, you know, if I whiff it and they undershoot me, that is a free punish. Basically, how I like to use fair is I like to space it to where I get like the tipper of the sword like this, so that if I do mess up, at least I have a little bit more leniency and a little bit room to back away. This can also be good for a mix-up, or even if your opponent is jumping a lot, especially because fair kind of kills now compared to beta. Fair can kill. I've had fair kill at 70. I've had fair kill at 90. I've had fair kill at 100. So I can't tell you the exact percent where fair kills, but just know that your fair can be a good approach option and also a very good kill option. Next, we have Nair. This is personally my favorite approach option, especially because I use this move a little too much in neutral and just to approach. Nair can kind of set you up for like a lot of things actually, which is why I like to use it. You could do Nair, jab, roll, jab, down Nair, Nair again to like maybe like a little combo like this. You can do Nair until your neutral attack. You can do Nair until your up tilt. You can basically do Nair almost until like imagination. Just as long as the move connects, you're gonna hit it. By the way, I almost forgot to mention, you can IAD this, and basically how you IAD is you have to hold up and right or up and left. You press dodge and an aerial. So this is me doing an IAD fair, which can be very good for an approach option. By the way, you can IAD about 2 to 3 times before you go into burnout. So this is me doing it once, twice, and now 3 times. And as you can see at the bottom under my name, I'm in burnout. Another approaching option that you can do, which I don't really think is too safe, which is why you don't see me do it often, is her dash attack. I think her dash attack is really good for like combo finishers. I don't really do this too much in neutral or like approach with it in neutral. You can do Nair into dash attack like this, which can be a very good combo finisher. So one thing about her dash attack, because she kind of shield bashes you, that means that she can block projectiles. I'm not really too sure about heavy projectiles, but she can definitely block light projectiles, as you can see here.
Now just relax.
Next, we're going to be talking about her combo game. I think Wonder Woman's combo game is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. She can do things like this for 21 damage. She could do things like I mentioned earlier, Nair into dash attack. She can do Dare into up air. At higher percents, me and my friends, we call this the stupid combo because she can do up tilt into up special and that will kill. Just like that.
That kind of tickled.
But her best combo game is her jab, roll, jab, down air. That is what you want to strive for Wonder Woman. You can get this off of lasso. Jab, roll, jab, dare. And basically how you input it is pretty simple. You want to jab, you instantly roll, you jab the other way, and then you want to jump and dare. It's a pretty straightforward combo. You can do jab, roll, jab, down there until her nair, and repeat the combo again, and this is how you input her loop.
I am unbreakable.
As you can see right there, I got 85 damage off of that. You can do things like jab, roll, jab, down air, up air. Jab, roll, jab, down air, up air, maybe even an air. Basically, you can do jab, roll, jab, down air until basically whatever you kind of want to. This is a really good combo for Wonder Woman players to master in this current patch until they probably will nerf this and patch it out. But at the moment, you want to be striving for this a lot. Some other things that you can do with Wonder Woman is you can jab, roll, jab, roll, jab, roll, jab, up tilt, nair, and that will all connect. Another combo that you can do is jab, roll, jab, jab, reverse up tilt. You can also do other things as a mix-up, like jab, jab, roll, jab, roll, jab, jab, like maybe your neutral attack. You basically want to keep mixing up your combo game for your opponent so that you can mess up their DI. Because if you just do this every game, they're going to catch on to where they should be DIing. But if you do things like this, they might be a little lost. Like, where do I DI at? She's going this way, she's going that way. She's hitting me up in the air, and now I'm getting hit by a neutral attack. Where do I DI? Some kill confirm combos that she has is jab, jab, neutral attack. And this will usually kill at higher percents. You can also do jab, jab, up tilt. That will usually kill at higher percents. One combo that I like to do is you can do lasso, pull in, up tilt, and that will usually kill between, I've got it to kill between 90 and 120. Depending on the character, you might want to charge this up, but it is a guaranteed kill confirm. I'm not really too sure about lasso, pull, and dare really killing anymore, especially because dare kind of got nerfed. You can do lasso and pull into neutral attack. And last but not least, you have my personal favorite combo, lasso pulling into down tilt. And as you can see, that's gonna kill pretty early if you have full gauge. And if you're wondering, well, how do I get full gauge? You get full gauge by having your opponents break any of your armor moves. So as you can see here, actually I can do in his normal attack, and as you can see under my name, every time he breaks my armor, I get gauge meter. And once you have full gauge meter, you can do combos like this that will send them pretty far. And even if it doesn't kill, it will set you up for a edge guard. You can also get gauge meter from side being your opponent's projectiles. So as you can see here, sharp saw blade, it's hitting my side special, and I'm getting a little bit of gauge off of it. One more time. Now next, I want to talk about her specials, but first we're going to be talking about lasso.
My hand.
I think lasso is a very, very good tool for zoning. I personally don't like to really use lasso in neutral, depending on who the opponent is and their habits. I only say that because lasso is pretty laggy compared to how it was in beta. Also, in the most recent patch, lasso, unfortunately, got an 8-second cooldown. As you can see at the bottom under my name, I'm on cooldown for 8 seconds. And when those 8 seconds are up, I can use lasso again. Because Wonder Woman in this current Multiversus is more prediction based rather than reaction based, you want to be wise when you use your lasso. Especially because it has an 8-second cooldown now, so you kind of just can't spam it like, you know, a lot of people were doing. This is what happens when you try to use your lasso on cooldown. You want to be able to catch onto a pattern of your opponent and read them appropriately. So for example, if your opponents are jumping a lot or just empty hopping in neutral and you know that they're about to do it, you can lasso pull in and you can do your combos like this and get some good damage in. Lasso does have some other properties, but like I said in the beginning of this video, this is a pretty straightforward and basic guide. Next, we're going to be talking about my favorite special of hers, which is her down special. Wonder Woman, in my opinion, has one of, if not the best disadvantages in the entire game because of this move single-handedly. So basically what this move does is, say you're on disadvantage, right? You know, I'm getting hit by Shaggy neutral attack, and I'm just like, what do I do? Well, you can do your down special. You can tank one hit only, and you also get gauge meter, as you can see from under my name here. So say this game just started, right? It's me and Arya versus Shaggy, and let's just say Garnet's on their team, right? The game started, I'm gonna show my opponent up and I'm able to like approach and put some pressure on and tank at least one hit. Next we have her side special. There's nothing really too special about this. It's basically just a shield bash armor move. This can be good against certain matchups like Steven, who you want to play grounded against. Maybe against like Rick and Ringdog, who like to throw a lot of projectiles. And like I mentioned prior, whenever you side B a light projectile, you get a little bit of gauge. So as you see here, I get full gauge off of Rick's grenades. And I can use that against him. Alright, that's all for specials. Next, we're going to be talking about her down tilt. I kind of already spoke about this, but basically all you need to know is that if you have a full gauge meter under your name, you want to go for a down tilt read. And I say read because you only can get this once. If you mess this up, you're going to have to get a gauge meter again. I'm going to insert a little clip that I got in the lab the other day. The combo does seem to be pretty true with the perk Airwalker. Basically how I like to use down tilt is I like to use it after a lasso pull-in, down tilt, because it'll quite literally explode them. Another way that I like to use down tilt is at the ledge here. If I see my opponent is recovering low or like they're recovering high, then I'll kind of like place myself where I can just fully charge down tilt, or even just like down tilt like this. Another way that I like to use my down tilt is to catch my opponent's landing. So say Shaggy, you know, I have Shaggy and disadvantage here, right? I'm gonna catch his landing by doing a down tilt here. And just imagine that I have fully gauge meter, he would probably die. Next, I'll be going into a game. I'll try to commentate what I'm doing during game. I'm not the best at saying what I'm doing and playing at the same time, but I'll try my best. So we have a banana guard here. Going into this game, for example, say that this was a tournament. In the back of my head, I'm going to be thinking, okay, he has a lot of range. His forward air is good. His side beat's good. His forward tilt has a lot of range too. And he can charge in the air. So how do I have to play this game? I'm going to play this game a little bit spaced out. I'm going to zone him a lot and kind of play just outside of his range.
I will do what it takes.
So on the start here, I'm gonna shield just in case he wants to side B. There it is. Kinda called it. Okay, he used a lot of dodge meter. Let's see if I can get him to burn his meter without doing anything. Alright, there it is. Time to go crazy. That still hit me from behind. Space that out. Got the kill. I knew he would side B again because that's kind of what he's been doing. And that's kind of what a lot of banana guards like to do. He's gonna side B here at the ledge. No, he's not. There's the side B that almost killed me. Whatever he hits me here with is I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna see if I can wait this out. Never mind.
Nothing will stop me this time.
Let's see if I can get a lasso pull in there. I just barely missed it. I'm in burnout, so I gotta play this a little bit more safer here. Alright, he's in burnout. Oh, almost killed himself. This is a bait. That's almost died from that. This is a kill. Alright.
That was really dark, then really bright, then really dark again.
Kinda knew that he would dodge in there. Got the kill. Kinda know that he was gonna side B. That's what he was doing a lot in this game.
Pack on
So that's basically it for this guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitch. It is Pando with 2 N's, Panndo. And that wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, be kind to yourself.